Right, Toto. It's just after 10 to 11, Gaz with you on BBC Radio Tees. Now, I get to knock around with some really swanky people and that. I hobnob with dead posh people and talk to amazing people. Now, this morning, I've been talking to a High Sheriff. Oh, hi. High Sheriff. Gary and Andy Phillipson from Trimley Village talking to a High Sheriff. Hi. Now, did you know that you've got one looking after our patch? Yeah. In Teesside. Oh, yes. But what exactly do they do? Well, I was talking to David Kerfoot, and he's the High Sheriff of North Yorkshire. David, what a role that is, High Sheriff. Does that mean you're tall, or does it mean it's something else?
Well, I actually am tall anyway. I'm 6'2", so probably...
You are a High Sheriff.
I am a High Sheriff, yes.
Talk us through the role, because it sounds... It's you know, when I've ever thought about it, I've always thought it's just a ceremonial thing, but there's real implication to it, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit about the history. It's an independent, non-political role. It's the oldest honorary position that Her Majesty appoints anybody to, and it's always been for a single year. And its origins actually date back, would you believe it, to Saxon times. In fact, there was probably a High Sheriff in North Yorkshire in 940.
Wow.
Which is quite something. And, you know, in those days, you were responsible for collection and return of taxes due to the Crown and helping maintain law and order. Over the years, that's changed. One interesting thing which you might laugh a little bit about, although it's not a laughing matter, is up to 1897 I was allowed to raise a militia. And up to 1926, one of the roles was that I had to inspect the gallows before an execution.
Wow.
So, you know, it's been quite a, you know, it really has evolved to what it is now, which basically is supporting the Crown, representing Her Majesty in the judiciary within the region. And our region is the largest chivalry region in the country. I go right to the south bank of the Tees, and then I go right down to Selby, across to the east coast, and then right across to Skipton and Bentham. So it's a huge area.
Wow.
So representing the Queen in the judiciary is very important, but also giving support and encouragement to crime prevention agencies, emergency services, and the voluntary sector.
It's a massive job, and as you say, it's evolved massively. So how do you provide funding for organisations that you want to help? Are you funded in any way, shape or form, and where would you get your money from?
The High Sheriffs receive no remuneration, and no part of my expenses falls on the public purse. So basically, I do have a High Sheriffs fund where I can make High Sheriffs awards, and one of the things that I'm trying to do now is to actually, where I've seen people do exemplary work during the current crisis, to acknowledge them and the tremendous work that they're doing with a framed certificate and sometimes a monetary award. So at the moment, I'm doing everything virtually. So I've done things like visit to schools that have been looking after frontliners' children during the crisis, lifeboat stations, Cleveland Mountain Rescue, police, fire brigade, and then community groups and charities who need that little bit of help or that little bit of edge up to raise the profile to try and keep them going.
Wow. I keep saying wow because I'm blown away with the scale and the breadth of your job. Do you feel, as the current incumbent of, you know, the High Sheriff of North Yorkshire, do you feel the weight of history on your shoulders to what, you know, the path you're walking now to going back to the 900s?
I'll tell you what, I can tell you when I do, and that is when I go to York Assizes Court, and I go there into the High Sheriff's dining room, and down one wall are a series of parchments, and there's every High Sheriff listed. And I think, my gosh, my name's going to be added to that. And it's there for posterity. It's quite something. You really do feel it then.
You are going to be part of history of North Yorkshire. You are going to be written into these illustrious people that have looked after and have celebrated North Yorkshire way into the future. That must be something for you and your family to feel quite proud about.
Oh, they're incredibly proud of it. And, you know, and I am. And that's why I'm utterly determined absolutely determined to ensure that I make a difference and help people this year, even though it's a big challenge. I really am going to do that. I'm not one to sit on my backside and not get out and about, and I really want to make a difference. And that's why, if there's actually anyone out there who would like me to have a virtual call with their team of people, from a motivational point of view, or to help their profile in any way, then I am really happy to do it.
How do we get in touch with you? How do we get in touch? Because this is brilliant, because it sort of dovetails into what we've been doing at BBC Radio Tees anyway, with people making a difference. And it's just lovely. I get a sense of your job just sitting here and reading out the stories of what people are doing in small communities, large communities. And it's just warming for the soul. So how can we pass on people to you then, David?
I think the best way is really to go via an email to my PA, who is Robin, ROBYN, .McLean, MCLEAN, at highsheriffny.co.uk.
Right.
And one of the things I'm really interested in finding out about, if there's anyone who you come across or you hear of anyone who's doing exceptional works, I really would like to know about them, because what I'm planning to do is to run 2 or 3 virtual ceremonies and present people virtually. I've already done a couple with my High Sheriff's Awards.
Brilliant, man. Well, look, let's work together and keep in touch, David, if you don't mind.
Of course I will.
Brilliant stuff.
So.
And if we hear anything, we'll pass them on to you and vice versa. Look after yourself, and thank you very much for being the highest of all High Sheriffs.
I just love that bit. I've never had that before.
You're a diamond, mate.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot.
You take care, young, and look after yourself. Have a good weekend.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And if David can help you, let us know. Get in touch with us, 08000 85 95 95, and we'll pass on your details to him. The High Sheriff of North Yorkshire, David Kerfoot, on BBC Radio Tees.